My name's Mark Solomon. I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I'm here today to talk to you about domestic violence cases. Domestic violence cases are serious. They are almost always emotionally charged. Somebody's either done something in an argument that they probably shouldn't have, or they've been set up. Either way, what we do when handling these cases, we hire the best investigators we can possibly find to interview the victims and the witnesses. We scrutinize the discovery, which is the police reports, body cam statements, all the things we get in discovery, all the pictures and evidence collected by the police officers, and we use that in a case assessment to try to figure what we can negotiate to avoid your cost, risk, and expense of going to trial. If we are able to negotiate something that you're willing to accept, then that's a success. On the other hand, if we end up going to trial, it's your choice, and what we do is we work our best to take all of that information that we uncovered in the investigation, and we use that at trial to get the best possible outcome to win. The types of things that can come out of a domestic violence case are usually pretty bad when they involve conviction. If the charge has any sort of allegation of force or the threatened use of force, then a conviction is going to mean the end of your gun rights, and it doesn't matter if it's a state case or a municipal case. When the case is a criminal mischief case, which is destruction of private property, you may be able to keep your gun rights for now, but future changes in the legislation could just as easily take those away without any further due process issues, and next thing you know, a criminal mischief domestic violence conviction becomes something that takes away your gun rights. So that's always something to consider if you're being offered a criminal mischief plea. We take these cases very seriously because they are serious cases, and it doesn't matter if they're state cases or municipal cases. Contact me as soon as you get charged. Once the police officers respond to the scene, they will have taken you into custody and you'll be on bond with a protection order. It's really important that you abide by the conditions of the protection order, because if you don't, you'll get a new case of either a violation of protection order, a bail bond violation charge, or potentially even a witness tampering charge. Not to mention, every single protection order includes the provisions that you're not allowed to assault, threaten, harass, tamper with, or interfere with any victim or witness for the charge for which you're charged with committing. And the problem with that is every single one of those things is a crime in and of itself. So if you do any of those things, or if you're alleged to have done any of those things, then the police or the prosecutors can very easily give you 3 new charges. They can give you the underlying charge, the assault, threatening, harass, or witness tampering, along with a violation of the protection order, and the third charge, bail bond violation, if it's a state case. The stakes of a domestic violence case are pretty high. Even if it's a misdemeanor, you can lose your gun rights if it involves any sort of use or threatened use of force. If it's a felony, clearly, felony conviction is going to have really serious impact on your ability to get a job. But even as a misdemeanor, I've had clients tell me that with a misdemeanor conviction of domestic violence from their past, it strongly affected their ability to get an apartment. It strongly affected their ability to get work. I'm very, very sensitive to the issues in domestic violence cases, and I can help you. I work very hard to look into the facts of the case to figure out what we can do to either negotiate the best deal before trial or to go to trial and win.